How's it going, everyone, and welcome to my small YouTube gardening channel. So the weather has really been warming up lately down here in South Australia, and so the soil is getting really nice and toasty. So I'm going to be planting some tomatoes as they really like the hot weather. So I've got two different varieties, and I'm going to be planting them in two different spots. So first variety is the Morgage Lifter. Now this is a really big beef steak slicing tomato. One of my grandparents in New South Wales, he has grown it before, and he said the biggest he's gotten is around 800, 900 grams. So that's like a whopping nearly a kilo of a single tomato, or I think that's about £1.5 or £1.75, something like that. So yeah, I'm going to be growing that, and then also the second variety I'm going to be growing is the red and black tomato. This is a salad slash slicing tomato, I think. It's supposed to be very good. Both of these are heirloom tomatoes from Diggers, and then with the location, I'm going to be growing one in the raised garden bed, and the second one I'll be growing in the last root pouch that I've got, the last 30 litre or 7-gallon root pouch. And I think in the root pouch I'll probably go the Morgage Lifter, so nothing will be like competing for nutrients and water and stuff. And then just in the raised garden bed, I'll probably put in that smaller, the smaller red and black tomato. So yeah, I'll get straight into it. So we'll pretty much just be going planting, how I've prepared the soil, mulching, and then also just some tips just to look after your tomatoes. And that'll probably just about do it. So I hope you guys stay to the end, and we'll get straight into planting. Nearly forgot to announce the competition winner as well. So the winner of the 1,000 subscriber competition is Wendy Miller. So congratulations, Wendy. Paper pot maker will be coming your way very, very shortly. I'll try and ship that off as soon as possible. So again, congratulations, and I hope you like it. Okay, so this is the red and black tomato. So this is the Diggers variety. Both of them are, but I only bought them from a hardware store, not directly from Diggers. But this is the spot that I'm going to be putting it in. So I did try to grow some basil from seed here, probably about 3 weeks ago, but it never came up. But you know, there's the garlic nearby, the peas nearby. So I'm planting here just one, it's free space, but also then it's got this bit of a trellis that I can run up at. So about a month and a half ago, I put in a lot of compost in this area, and I haven't really turned it over. I've just sat it on top and let it just sort of break down, let the organisms and worms and stuff dig into the soil. So all I'm going to be adding is a bit of blood and bone, and I'm just going to be lightly digging that through, just like that. Now I'll just like sort of loosen up the soil a bit. Okay, now for planting. So basically for planting, what we're doing is just lightly taking it out. Has a nice root system. So I'm going to be picking off these bottom few leaves, and then just dig a hole and go a couple centimeters, so about 2-3 centimeters or an inch deeper than it was in the pot. Just like this. I'm going to be forming a bit of a well to allow the water to sit in there. Snapping off the lower few leaves, just like that. Also giving it a little bit of blood and bone around here. Now the reason for planting a bit deeper is that this then actually allows more roots to grow. So in like the inch or a couple of centimeters deep that you planted it, that stem, more roots will form there, so that it'll pick up more nutrients and more water, so it'll be a bit more drought resistance. So now I'm just going to grab some mulch. So I'm just using some pea straw mulch. It's good, cheap, and it breaks down quite nicely. Around like that, just to help reduce the water loss, and then give it a good drink. Alright, now we'll head over to the root patch, and we'll plant up the second tomato. Okay, so this is where the Morgage Lifter is going to go. So this is the 30 litre or 7-gallon root pouch. And I did plant some watermelons in here, but it was probably still a bit cool for them, and none of them germinated, or they probably rotted away. So I'll be putting the tomato in here. And so yeah, like I said at the start of the video, I want to put it in here because this produces really big tomatoes. I'm trying to get as big tomatoes as possible, so I don't want anything competing with it. So having its own pot means that it's going to grow really well. And because it's air pruning as well, it'll allow it to grow a bit bigger and with a healthy root system. So I'm not going to be adding anything to the soil blend, because what this is a mix of compost, blood and bone, and also a tomato potting mix. So this is a mix that is, the potting mix is a tomato and vegetable potting mix, sorry. So it is sort of specially formulated for specifically tomatoes. So it is very nutritious. It has a lot of nutrients and food in there for the tomato. So it shouldn't need anything else. So basically I'll just remove the mulch. And pretty much just the same as the red and black tomato. I've already removed the lower leaves. So now I'm just going to be digging a hole for it, just so it sits again a couple of centimeters or about an inch underneath. That way it'll form more roots. Now I'll just put the mulch back on top. It's also another thing, you want to make sure that the mulch is a couple of centimeters or an inch or two from the actual stem, because the mulch holds on to a lot of moisture, and if it's touching up against the stem, which is an organic, then it can actually cause it to rot away, and you do not want that. So then, now it's in, we'll give it a water. Alright, so now they're both planted. So now I just want to give you guys a few little tips and tricks that I've learned from growing tomatoes over the past few years. Okay, so just a couple of tricks that I've sort of picked up over the years with growing tomatoes is really when you're buying tomatoes, what I really do now is I don't really go for how many plants I want to buy. I only go for the varieties that I want to buy. So if there's only 2 varieties that I really want, which was like this year, just because I was limited to space, I knew I couldn't have that many. I only got 2 varieties, but I only bought 1 of each because tomatoes are so easy to take cuttings from. The little side shoots that you get, usually you want to prune them off, but when you prune them off, you can just use them as cuttings. Just pick them off, pick off some of the outer leaves, and then put them straight in the ground. Make sure they're kept well moist and watered, and in a couple of weeks they'll form roots, and then they're their own, it's its own individual plant. I've actually done a video before, so it might be something popping up around here. But yeah, tomatoes are so easy to take cuttings from, so yeah, you don't have to spend heaps of money buying heaps of plants. But obviously if you want to, you know, get them well established, say like if you're a bit late in the season, then yeah, you might want to actually buy a plant just to make sure that you get a harvest. Second one is really make sure you keep up the water and nutrients, because tomatoes are super hungry, and especially when they're fruiting, most of the fruit, like most of the tomatoes, is made up of water. You really want to make sure that they're kept well fed and well watered, so you get a big harvest. So that is pretty much it, folks. So if you stuck around to the end, thank you very much. But before I finish off this video, I just want to thank a very special group of people, and they are the patrons. So patrons are those who have gone to my Patreon like page, and they pretty much just give me some financial support. They just donate a couple of dollars every month, and that really helps my channel keep ticking along, so I can buy plants and keep things maintained and little things like that. So thank you guys very much. 30 patrons' names will be listed along here if they haven't already. And yeah, so thank you guys so much. So if you want to check out Patreon, you get some rewards depending on how much you give as well. The link will be in the description below, and there'll be a little thumbnail popping up at the end of the video. So thanks for watching, and if you like that little clip, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and if you have any comment suggestions or questions for me, pop them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. There'll be my face popping up around here somewhere soon. You can click on that. That way you'll just stay updated whenever I post a new video here on YouTube. You can come along and suss out what I'm talking about and see what I'm growing. So again, thank you all so much. Hope your gardens are booming, especially in the southern hemisphere where we're getting into spring. And I hope you're all well and happy, and I'll catch you all next video. Cheers all, have a top one.